Okay, Opera. Welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
There's nothing like that opening number for me, Nicole.
I know.
Okay, Opera. It's gonna be stuck in my head all day.
I know. Me too.
How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. You know, we're finally on the slow week. We're super busy with some outreach events, and you were singing quite a bit.
We have been singing, y'all. Like a couple weeks ago, Paige, Dickey, and I did the parade.
Yeah, that
You
was
were
so
there.
fun. Yeah, I was driving shotgun.
Yes. We were throwing swag into the crowd, and Paige and I got to sing some songs on the float.
You guys looked fabulous.
Not to brag, but we did take first in live music.
Woo woo woo!
Woo! Okay, Opera!
Yes, our director of outreach, Danny Kyle, was so excited about that first place trophy.
Yes.
She worked so hard to make everything happen.
It was really wonderful. And Lyndon Meyer played piano. It was a great day.
It was.
But, like, that was not the only thing we did. Like, we were...
No. Paige sang at the Greenwood Chamber of Commerce Women's Gala.
And that was the same day as the parade.
Yes.
So y'all, like...
I slept in the next day, Sam.
I don't blame you. I do not blame you.
We've been at Circle Cinema singing, Las Posadas.
So I would sing at both Las Posadas and Circle Cinema this weekend. Mm-hmm. But I think one of the best things that we did was at Winterfest.
Yes.
Because we got to partner with the Tulsa Opera Signature Chorale.
Yes.
And, like, they were on fire.
Okay, they were on fire, but you guys were on fire too.
Well, you know. What can I say? It's a habit.
Tell me more about Signature Chorale, Sam.
So Signature Chorale, it's a partnership with us at Tulsa Opera and the Signature Symphony at TCC. And so they sing on a couple of concerts every year out there. And we get them every now and then at Tulsa Opera. They're conducted by Aaron Beck, the music director.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Aaron does it. He's in charge of everything.
He really is.
He handles all of our education department. He handles artistic admin. Like, he is corralling adults and kids alike. And we actually had the chance to interview him because upcoming Tulsa Youth Opera is doing a production, a one-act opera called Amahl and the Night Visitors.
I know. I'm so excited.
So excited. It's going to be live in front of a crowd, and Aaron kind of gave us the 411.
Yeah, so let's take a listen.
Hey there, OK Opera. We've got a celebrity in the house today. Mr. Aaron Beck from the Education Department. Aaron, how are you?
I'm great. I rode in this morning in my Lexus and got out. I just put on my purple robe and I'm ready to show everyone what a celebrity I am.
Yes.
Yeah, you're looking fabulous this morning.
Fabulous, Aaron. Thank you so much for being on OK Opera.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, let's dive right in. So can you kind of tell us, like, what does an educational director do for an opera company?
What does an educational director not do? Really, it's kind of opera. The challenge with opera is so many people know what they think they know about opera, but they don't know really what opera is. And so a lot of the goal really is just to kind of get people educated as to what opera is and what it isn't, and that it's not something that's just for, like, old rich ladies, and that it is something that's totally accessible. And one of the ways we do that is through our Tulsa Youth Opera program, where we have children who come from all over the Northeast Oklahoma area and study opera with us, so they can learn to love it. Some of them end up singing it professionally, and some of them just end up loving it.
So what does a regular day look like for you at Tulsa Opera?
My first thing, I am not an early riser. I hate mornings. I hate them so much.
You and me both, Aaron.
So, I wake up at, like, too late, and then I get on my phone and I start emailing, and I actually
Still in bed?
Still in bed. I can't. It takes me some time to be able to function.
Yeah.
So once I've had the coffee, then I generally, a lot of what I do is preparation for the big stuff. So it's working on paperwork and that kind of stuff in preparation for the rehearsals that I have with the group and preparation for the performances. So a lot of the behind the scenes stuff is actually just as mundane as probably our listeners' jobs are in their cubicles. But what's exciting about opera is that, like, we get to do all the mundane stuff and then do the really exciting stuff at the end.
Yeah.
That. Well, you do a lot. I mean, because you handle Tulsa Youth Opera, you do Signature Chorale, you handle, like, all the contracts for the young artists that we bring in and work with the professional artists we hire to do the main stage shows.
Yeah.
So you've kind of got your hands in everything.
Yeah, I do. I've been here since 2010. I'm actually the second longest time employee in the office, so it's kind of it's interesting just to kind of be that person that people come to and ask questions. And sometimes I just have to pretend that I know the answer. But
you can never leave, though. You can never leave.
You're not allowed.
No worries there.
Yeah, well, so one big part about Tulsa Youth Opera is Amahl and the Night Visitors, which is their yearly kind of holiday production. Can you give us the details on what's coming up this year?
Yeah, so Amahl and the Night Visitors is an opera that's actually fairly old. It was written in the 1950s, and it was actually the first opera ever written for television. And it was performed on television every year for decades, I think up through the early 90s maybe. And it was kind of an annual tradition. People would tune in to their TVs and see a production of Amahl and the Night Visitors. So we are doing a live performance of the show. It's a story about a boy named Amahl who is differently abled, I think is the way that is kind of the best way to put it, because he's actually a really intelligent boy. He walks with a crutch and he doesn't get around very well. And he and his mother are really poor. They live around the time of the birth of Jesus. And the three kings are on their way to Bethlehem and stop at their house to ask for some food and to rest. And so, of course, it's opera, so things like that happen.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, all those kings swinging by.
Yeah.
And so,
just naturally.
So through miracles and wonderments, the boy ends up being healed and decides to leave with the kings and present the baby Jesus with his crutch as a thank you. And it's a really charming piece, frequently not performed by children. So we are one of the few places that actually performs it with kids. Oh. And so this is the fourth year, I believe, of us doing Amahl and the Night Visitors, and it's really exciting.
Traditions.
I know, and we've got a cast of kids doing all of the principal roles, and the three kings and the mother and Amahl and everybody else. So it's going to be really exciting. So it's a lot of fun for the kids. They get to perform a real opera. And it really just showcases them. So it's not like performing in a chorus in an opera with a bunch of adults. This one features the kids.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So is there anything new about? I mean, you said you've done it for 4 years. So is there anything new about this year's production, particularly?
Well, we always have a new cast.
Yeah.
And so that's always exciting. This year we're going to have some new costumes that are being built specially for us by Megan Swick, our
yes.
Y'all
remember Megan. Yes.
And so she's working right now on some amazing new costumes for the three kings. So that'll be really exciting. And it's interesting to me always to go back and watch the productions from years past to see how I do it differently, because you kind of subconsciously change like the speed of this song or how this scene goes. And so it's always interesting for me just to kind of see. We try to keep it fresh and new, even though we are doing the same show. It's always just kind of a new experience.
Yeah.
Well, it's really impressive that the kids do Amahl, because the music is quite difficult, like rhythmically, and because you've cast child in the mother role, and that's some pretty heavy singing.
That is heavy singing, and I'm never sure if we're going to have a child who can sing that part. It's a part that is really, really difficult. But the last 2 years, I've just been shocked by these kids coming out and singing it and being like, "You can totally do this," which is really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I have to ask, because Amahl is sung in English. Mm-hmm. You're welcome, children. Do you have a preference? Do you like opera sung in English more than foreign language? Do you have a preferred language you like?
A preferred language. I love English. The reason I love English is because people think they know how to speak English, but nobody actually does, because everybody has their own dialect.
Yeah.
So Okies have their own dialect, and New Yorkers and Californians and whatever. So there's actually a standardized way that we sing in English. So when I work with singers in English who are native speakers, they're always really surprised that I want to work with them on how they pronounce their words, because they're like, I speak English. But so that's always actually really exciting for me. My favorite foreign language for opera is German. Yes. But I love working with singers in English. There's actually full-time like opera people who do nothing but work with English diction and pronunciation with
There's
Bless
so many
those workers.
variations. I know, there's so many variations.
There's so many variations, and especially sometimes you'll do an opera that maybe takes place in the South, and you have to do a Southern accent, and you like, tell the person from Minnesota that they have to like fake a Georgia accent, and it's like, so there's a lot of behind the scenes work that goes on.
Yeah, I've actually sung in a New York accent before. In
Have
8th
you?
grade.
Do it right now.
Guys and Dolls. I was Adelaide.
Oh my god.
So I was not only singing in a New York accent, but I was singing in a New York accent with a cold. So it was very
even better. Yeah,
it was
so it's
very
like extra
nasally.
nasal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Typecasting.
Kind of like this, and I can probably do it really good right now because I'm actually really nasally.
It's
But
a little. Yeah, allergies, the kicking in. Yeah.
But yeah, it's always fun singing in different kinds of accents and different kinds of English.
But like I think that what I read is like 80% of new operas that are being written these days are in English. So American and British composers kind of have almost kind of like a monopoly on new opera. There are still foreign language operas being written, and quite a few of them, but a lot of the big ones that you hear about these days are written in English, including those by our artistic director.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of the new language of opera, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tobias Picker. We're performing his Amahl next February. Y'all get your tickets. Well, where can folks watch them all? Trinity Woods, right?
Trinity Woods, Westervelt Hall is their new theater. It's a lovely, lovely venue that is kind of amazing, actually. There's nothing like it in Tulsa for this type of venue. And it will be January 7th at 7:30 p.m., January 8th at 2:30 and 7:30. Tickets will be free and available at tulsaopera.com, but they will need to be reserved in advance. So you can go to tulsaopera.com, check out Amahl the Night Visitors, and reserve your tickets that way. The show's just about 50 minutes long, so it's a short experience and great for kids. Bring the whole family.
Yeah. Lots of family fun.
Great show.
Well, thanks so much, Aaron.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, good luck with everything. We'll see you at the show.
Alrighty.
See ya.
I cannot believe we got 20 minutes of Aaron's time.
I know, because he's such a busy man, and he does so much for our company. And for these kids, these Tulsa Youth Opera kids.
Who are ridiculously talented.
Oh my gosh.
It's unfair.
No, it is. It is. We actually had a chance to interview some Tulsa Youth Opera singers that are playing some major roles in Amahl at Trinity Woods this year.
Shall we give a listen?
I think we should, Sam.
Let's hear what the kiddos have to say.
Hello, everyone, and we are so excited that we get to interview these lovely people.
Yes, TYO royalty, y'all.
So why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves and what character you're going to be playing?
So I'm Nicholas, and I play Melchior, which is one of the three kings.
I'm Harper White, and I play Amahl.
Okay.
I'm Claire Shannon, and I play the mother.
Awesome.
Thank you all so much for being here today.
Yes, we are so excited. So how long have you guys been involved in TYO productions? Nico, why don't we start with you?
So I've been in TYO for the past 3 years. Last year I was also Melchior, and the year before that I was Amahl.
What about you, Harper?
I just joined this year, so I haven't been in anything yet.
Yeah? How old are you?
I'm 12 years old.
That's a pretty big role in your first year. You must have some
role. Way to go,
talent. What about you, Claire?
I've been in TYO for 4 years, and I was actually Amahl last year.
Oh, fun.
We got a couch full of Amahls. So can we ask, why did you all want to join Tulsa Youth Opera?
So I have a vocal teacher, and she said that it would be a good experience with me the first time, and then I just kind of kept auditioning to get back in from there.
Yeah? So what made you want to, decide to keep coming back? Was it, your friends, or you love Aaron so much, or what is it?
It's really fun being here, so yeah, I decided to come back.
So I have a friend who is in TYO, and she told me audition, so I tried it out and I got in, and it's just been a really positive experience, so I'm probably gonna keep coming back.
So Nico and I actually have the same voice teacher. She kind of introduced us into this little world, and I love it so much. It's actually what I'm considering majoring in for college.
Yay!
I would have no idea that I loved opera this much if I hadn't.
Yeah, that's
wonderful.
awesome. For
Can
sure.
I ask, who are your voice teacher?
Yeah.
Her name's Connie Morrison.
Oh, Connie. Okay, yes. I know Connie. She's my favorite redhead in Tulsa. She's so sweet.
You might get some backlash with that, Sam. So we know this is your first production, Harper. Are you nervous at all?
I'm very nervous because it's a lot to memorize.
Have you ever been in a big show before?
Not opera-wise, but I do ballet, so I have to do the Nutcracker every year. But other than that, I haven't really been in something like big.
So Claire, could you, since you played Amahl last year, do you think you could describe the story for us a bit?
Yeah, sure. So it's kind of like the story of the wise men coming to see Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes place actually in January. A lot of people think that this happens all in December, but it actually takes place in January, so that's a really cool fact. But it starts off with Amahl outside and his mother's inside, and she's calling him inside, and she's like, come in. And so they come in and they end up they sing a whole bunch of songs, obviously.
Yeah.
Lots of opera.
Lots of opera for little things that could be done in 5 seconds, but we love that.
Yeah, it's the dramatics.
Yes, we love the dramatics. And so they're sleeping, and the wise men come in and ask, can we rest in your house for this night? Because we have to see the baby Jesus. There's a star that's leading us away. And Amahl had been talking about this. He's like, Mom, there's a huge star. And she's like, you're crazy. You're always making up tales. And so this kind of, what the wise men say, kind of reassures what Amahl says. So they bring all the shepherds out, which is what our chorus is playing, all the shepherds. And they sing a bunch of songs, and they give them a bunch of gifts. And at the end, there is a little bit of where the conflict starts to go in. They're super poor. The mother and Amahl, it's just them. There's not really a dad figure in Amahl's life. And so having these men come in, it's like a big change for him because he's only been around women. And they have a ton of gold with them. And so the mom, she sings this beautiful aria that's like the best thing in the world.
And you get to sing
aria.
it.
I hope I can do it justice. But she sings about what this gold could do for her and her child, but mainly really just her child, because she wants to give him the world and she can't really do that. And so she ends up taking a little piece of the gold and gets found out by the page. Then you see Amahl fighting for her, being like, don't touch my mother, do not try and hurt my mother, like, he says, I'll bash in your head.
Oh, wow.
All these crazy things.
Harper looks like she could. No, I'm kidding.
So in the end, the kings end up offering to take Amahl to see the baby Jesus. And so as they're coming with, he ends up saying, they want to give a gift to the baby Jesus. And he says, I'll give him my crutch. And the mom's like, what are you talking about? You're crippled. Like, you're crippled. You can't give him the crutch. He ends up handing the kings a crutch, and he ends up walking for the first time, which is kind of like a miraculous little thing that happens. And then they're all crazy happy about it. They're like, praise God. And he ends up going on a little journey with them.
Where does y'all's characters come in?
I'm Mlk. So I sing an aria with the mother and Balthazar. And in that, I'm describing, like how we're getting here and all the things. And I describe the child that I'm looking for. So then the mother is like, yeah, this is my child. This is the child that you're looking for so that she can get the gold,
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually I'm the one who invites them all to leave with us to go see baby Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Very regal.
Yes.
Kingly. I just want everybody to know that they were seriously considering some adult performers for the mother this year, and then Claire came in and sang. And they forgot all about those other performers.
Yeah, they're like, wait, maybe not. So, are y'all ready to finally perform in front of a live audience? Because I know Claire and Nico know that we had to film it all last year.
Not the same without a crowd, right?
No.
I think it'll be better because when there's an audience, there's energy to feed off of from.
Yeah.
Rather than just a camera.
Yeah.
And I feel like you also have the encouragement from the audience too, because, your parents are always there supporting you.
Yeah.
Like mama bears and everything. So it's definitely I feel like it's a lot more exciting too, performing with an audience, because it's not as bland. Because with a camera, you're just recording it and then you're done. But with an audience, you're like performing and you get the applause, and it's just like so much more exciting.
Is it weird, Harper, to play a boy?
Yeah,
Kinda.
It is weird, but I've been able to adapt to it, and so it's not as hard as I thought it would be at first.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for being with us today. We're so excited to get to see you perform.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you.
I am so excited to
Me
see
too.
these kiddos sing.
I'm so excited. They are so talented.
So sweet, so humble. Like voices of the angels.
And they're super professional for how young they are.
More professional than us. Well, y'all can see Harper and Claire and Nico and all of Tulsa Youth Opera performing next month. Show opens at Trinity Woods Community Life Center January 7th at 7:30 p.m. Be there or be square. And the show will run January 8th at 2:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Stay tuned on how to reserve your tickets. We'll put the information down below for you.
Yeah, and also we have the Mlk Parade coming up, and Tulsa Opera will be joining in on that January 17th at 11 a.m. We will be accompanied by the beautiful Adia Evans singing On the Flow, and having the Raise Your Voice kiddos following behind, singing along with us and passing out some swag and representing.
Yeah, come on, raise your voice. You can also purchase duet subscriptions at tulsaopera.com for shows Emmeline in February and Salome in the late spring. That's 2 shows for one low price, so get them while they're hot. Alrighty, everybody.
And Tulsa Opera also wishes everyone a very merry, happy holidays.
Happy holidays!
And that will wrap up this episode for 2021.
Woo!
And we will see you next year.